Guys, I don't believe the government has any authority whatsoever, maybe in very small, for instances, does the government have any authority to suppress speech. Now, the opposite coin of that is I don't think the government has any authority whatsoever to compel speech either. And so these anti-discrimination laws, when it comes to artists, are forcing them to use their artistic skills to do things that are against their conscience, and that's tyranny, and it's unacceptable. It doesn't matter if it's a religiously held belief or not. If you don't want to use your skills and talents for whatever reason, no one should be able to compel you to. It doesn't matter if you make money doing it for other people. That has nothing to do with this transaction man. And if you think it does, then get over yourself. It doesn't. Hey, what's up, team? Today we're going to take a look at an article from CBS News about a recent court decision in Arizona. That's right, the Supreme Court of Arizona ruled in a 4-3 decision that some artists, hence the connection to this story, the artists could not be required to give custom wedding invitations to a gay wedding. Let's go ahead and take a look at what it says. It says the Arizona Supreme Court ruled that a local non-discrimination ordinance violated 2 Christian wedding invitation calligraphers' free speech. Now, they weren't just wedding invitations on the wall that they refused to sell to them. They were going to be custom calligraphied. They were going to be custom wedding invitations, and these 2 ladies here didn't want to celebrate what they wanted to celebrate. And so it went all the way up to the state Supreme Court. The lower court decisions had favored with the city ordinance. It was the city of Phoenix, Arizona, that had an ordinance, an anti-discrimination ordinance. And this is a very narrow decision because it only applies, as the judge said, it only applies to this very instance, these 2 women with this particular, for instance, it only applies to them. However, in the majority ruling, I gotta say, they were pretty condescending. Let's take a look. It says, now that I'm reading it and looking at it, it seems pretty obvious that NBC News selectively quoted the court so that it would appear as if the court was being condescending. I don't know if that was the actual tone of the court. Duca and Koski's beliefs, that's the 2 ladies, about same-sex marriage may seem old-fashioned or even offensive to some. To who? I know the other people, but they shouldn't be to you, and it should have no bearing on this case. Well, why are you bringing that up? So are you virtue signaling? Why would you say that? Because it has nothing to do with it. The court majority wrote, but the guarantees of free speech and freedom of religion are not only for those who are deemed sufficiently enlightened, advanced, or progressive. Well, that's pretty condescending. So I guess you're saying that the people you ruled in favor of are not deemed sufficiently enlightened. They're not advanced, and they're definitely not progressive if it's the progressive movement that you're referring to. That's a pretty lame way to talk to your constituents or the people that you're serving, saying that they're old-fashioned and offensive there. Because honestly, it's their place, it's their business. Let the free market decide. They're not the only game in town. Go to somewhere that is going to serve you, and they will suffer. Don't give your hard-earned money to people who don't believe in what you believe. It's why I don't drink Starbucks anymore, or go to Target, or wear Nike shoes, or any kind of Nike gear, really. It's hard to keep track sometimes. But you gotta, because it's your hard-earned money, and part of capitalism is a duty of the consumer to give their money to people and causes and places and businesses that are going to best suit them. And if you want to use your money as a way to support things like you should, then go somewhere that's going to be supportive of you. Why would you go to them? Now, see, the problem is, and let's go ahead and take a look at this other. This is the Masterpiece Cake Shop. Y'all remember them, right? Well, guess what? There's a trans. He keeps on getting sued, and it's by people who go to him specifically so they can try to challenge this. They're not even being served. They probably don't even want the cake. Or in the case of the Arizona case, maybe they did want the actual wedding invitations from them. But here's the deal, I don't know yet, so it's unfair to say, but it has happened in the past, so not bringing it up would be not appropriate either. But check it out. Autumn Scardina, a transgender attorney, previously filed a lawsuit against Phillips when he declined to design a cake celebrating her gender transition. Last Thursday, he refused to fill an order from Scardina for a birthday cake, and that Autumn sued him twice, and purposely went to Phillips in order for him to refuse service so that he, she, whatever, could sue him. That doesn't seem right either, but that's what's going on in this case. Is it happening over here? I don't know. But they're not the only game in town. Use your money in a way that's wise to how you want it to be used. You know, it's powerful stuff. Go to businesses that want to support you. Because honestly, in the end, it's their business. I don't think you should be compelled to do anything or to serve anybody you don't want to. And as a result of that, you'll lose business. If you want to have a racist policy and exclude a certain race or gender or whatever you want to do,
shame on you.
It's your place. I'm not going to force my beliefs on you. However, I'm not going to visit your place either, and you're going to suffer economically, and hopefully you'll go out of business. Yeah, and so forcing someone is to participate in something that they have a clear problem with, that they don't want to participate in, then take your joy or whatever somewhere else. Go with someone who wants to share in your joy. Go with someone who believes the things you believe and wants all the rainbows and unicorns in the same color and pattern that you like. I mean, why force yourself and your beliefs on somebody else? It's not right. But the problem is that when you force people to act outside of their conscience, bad things happen. You can't force someone to have a better heart. You can only inspire them. So if you think you're in the right, but here's the problem. There's certain things that Christians just aren't going to acquiesce on. And we can't celebrate it with you. Why do you want to force them to? Why do you want to force us to? Anyway, what do you all think? Let me know in the comments. I guess it's a dude. I don't know. Autumn. That's when revolution happens. I'm probably going to erase that. I'll put it at the end.